It's a rough discus lariat.
The huge suplex.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the fresh new year. Our first show of Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas. Aaron Phillips, the Chief. Matt Mullen is here. Aaron E. And, of course, we'd be remiss by not honoring the passing of, whether you knew him as Luke Harper, whether you knew him as Brody Lee, or as the rest of the world and family knew him as John Huber, the shocking passing of him last Saturday at the young age of 41, and will be sorely missed, as you've seen across the wrestling industry. So just our little salute to Luke Harper / Brody Lee, / John Huber and his family. Will be missed. And as we've seen, gentlemen, across social media, a lot of people commented on the passing of John.
Definitely. He was like one of the most beloved wrestlers, like in the back, as far as what I've heard. Everyone loved the guy, wanted to travel with him, wanted to be around him. And the love he had for his family, it's just tragic, man.
And it was great to see his former tag team partner come over from WWE. It was a great tribute.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And you know what? As I mentioned on Facebook, I put a posting out there, is that AEW from their beginning always talked about going to do things different than WWE. And suffice it to say, that show this past Wednesday night did exactly that. And I'll give him kudos to also including pictures that they did in the video montage of him in the Wyatt family, and having pictures of WWE wrestlers in there. And just that show alone and the tribute that they did for me has upped the ante for me to want to be more invested in AEW. Because, to me, I'm all WWE. I have been for 40 years. And not that I didn't kind of keep an eye on AEW just for the names to see who's there, but what they did there, Cody Rhodes and Tony Khan, for me, has kind of turned me up to be more of an AEW fan, as the way they honored him.
It was a great tribute. They did an awesome job. When Tony Khan was giving the kid the belt, I was like, my eyes are sweating, I swear.
If you didn't,
I was like, hold it together, hold it together. I met John Harper a couple times. He was a super nice guy. It was one of the harder ones to accept, definitely. Especially if you watched him on Being the Elite and all that stuff. That dude was so entertaining. It was just, it's sad he finally got his shot to be a main event guy. And then this happens to him.
If you didn't have a tear in your eye Wednesday night, I don't have nothing to say about it. I know I used some Kleenex, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Me too.
Now, also there was I know I may or may not get his name right. I apologize, but a week prior, an old school wrestler, I want to say
Danny Hodge.
Danny Hodge also passed away. So unfortunately, his passing kind of got a little lost in the shuffle, even though he passed maybe a week or so before John did. But again, condolences out to his family as well. So, you reach a time in life where some of these old school performers are up there at age, whether injuries get them or not. Now, I'm not looking to cause any controversy, but the thought is that John had not been on TV since he lost the title to Cody. And so that was a couple of months back. And then his wife released a press statement, non-COVID related lung issues.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, other than lung cancer, what other issues could there be with a lung that would cause someone's demise? And I'm not saying he was or wasn't COVID. I don't know. But for me, it's a concern that something like that can happen from a guy who seemed perfectly healthy. But then again, Roman Reigns had leukemia and nobody knew it. So, right? So, all right, let's get started. Let's move on. I hear voices. What happened? There we go.
Wrong end. Sorry, folks. Hey, I want to throw one out.
That's what he said.
Real quick. I want to throw one
I was
out.
thinking that, but I didn't want it to come out so fast. All right.
It's a new year, 2021. No, I want to throw this out to Mick Foley.
Oh, yes.
Talking about COVID real quick.
Yes.
Mick, please do what you need to do. Stay isolated and hurry back.
Absolutely. Well said. I saw that news yesterday as well. 702-329-6947 is our number, 702-329-6947. Press number 1 to come into the studio. Call us. Share your thoughts regarding Luke Harper / Brody Lee / John Huber. And by the way, is it Wrestling Tees or ProfessionalWrestlingTees.com?
Pro Wrestling
Wrestling.
ProWrestlingTees.com. They announced that any Brody Lee shirt, all proceeds will be going to his family. I ordered mine. I know Coach did. I have friends that ordered. You probably ordered. So if you can, go out, buy a shirt and support the family. You can send us a live tweet using hashtag ThoughtsCount anywhere. You can also, of course, send us messages through the chat room. If you are outside the United States, 855-502-4321. Okay, first rumor that there's going to be a stipulation match between Randy Orton and The Fiend at Royal Rumble. What could that be? The guy's dead. He's burned up.
I kind of want to see what's going to happen. When Alexa came out and said it's going to be like something you've never seen before, I was like, dear God, come out now. But I was like, no, let's let this build for a little while, which WWE never seems to do anymore. But the last I heard, it's going to be a Firefly Funhouse match like the one at WrestleMania. So who knows what they might have planned.
The one he did with Cena?
Yeah. Where he literally killed off Cena for real. Like, just made him disappear.
Absolutely. So, I don't know. Chief, your thought. What kind of stipulation could they add to that match? No gasoline? What?
Put the entire arena on fire. That's, I'll give you, who cares?
Well, that's you know what?
No, I'm going to go on. Wait a minute. I'm going on my rant right now. I'm going to get it out.
No. Let's wait.
Oh, let's
all right,
wait.
Let's because that's not a rumor.
Okay.
We'll save that in the next section.
Okay.
All right. Next topic. Tony Khan has either bought Impact Wrestling or is in negotiations to purchase the company. Gentlemen, further news. I had not heard anything, but there seems to be this relationship, obviously, with Kenny Omega going over there.
Is this the WCW takeover?
Could be.
Interesting take.
It'd be pretty interesting to see what happens between, like, people with bad blood between Impact and AEW is going to kind of screw them out of a future and
right. Could be. I mean, it could be a blessing. It could be a curse, right?
Yeah.
So who knows?
There's a lot of matches between Impact and AEW people I really want to see, so I kind of hope it happens.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see how they lay it out to do that. Totally agree.
The faster we can get a Chris Bay versus Cody Rhodes match, or Chris Bay versus Kenny Omega,
There you go.
sign us up.
A couple of good matches there. There you go. It's a winner, folks.
That's a winner.
Hey, also, you'll notice on the screen right now, you'll notice the return of our news feed at the bottom of the screen. News and highlights from around the wrestling world. SmackDown last night. All kinds of things going on and what's coming up. Also, our email to advertise with us, info@thoughtscountanywhere.com is our email address. And, of course, you can always find that information on our website at thoughtscountanywhere.com. And brand new merchandise for 2021 is now available on our website. Go to the shop tab, right?
Yep.
What's up there now? New shirt designs? What have we updated?
We have a couple different shirt designs that are available from anything from shirts, onesies, kids shirts.
Onesies? Adult size onesies?
Kid, like baby onesies.
Oh, damn. Cool. Also, too, to make it easier for the website, our QR code is up. So anytime during our live performance
Point at it.
Or anytime. Let's see. I know, right? I haven't done that in a while, right? Wait. Let's see. No, that way. There it is. Right over
Bingo.
There it is.
There it is. All right. Anyway, zoom on that. Click on that anytime, and it'll take us right to thoughtscountanywhere.com. Our archive shows are up there. News, entertainment, you got it. And again, our shop tab is there for all of our clothing and tchotchke line and all that good stuff. All right, let's go to NXT year-end awards. Say hi to everybody in the chat room. I see John is out there. Meredith is out there. We thank you very much. Derwin Piper's out there. Thank you very much. Meredith shared an interesting comment regarding the health thing. Pneumonia that was bacterial could have been an issue for him, as well as possibly a pulmonary embolism. I'm not in the medical field. I didn't even sleep at a Holiday Inn Select to say that I did. So,
From what I heard, he was in the hospital since October.
And that was shortly after he dropped the title to Cody, right?
Yeah, he was supposed to take like a couple weeks off to sell injuries, and he went on a bike ride, and he got so weak that he couldn't even finish the bike ride, and they had to help him to the hospital, and apparently he was in the Mayo Clinic since.
Jeez. All right. Okay, NXT year-end awards. Event of the year. You guys want to cover these? Event of the year, War Games.
Yeah. Totally makes sense. That match was... Both War Games matches were freaking awesome.
Off the hook.
Yep.
Off the hook.
Rivalry of the year, Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole. And I find that one interesting. Rivalry of the year, but it really didn't heat up to the last back half of the year.
It's kind of been brewing for like over a year and a half. Even though like McAfee wasn't in the ring, there was always like pot shots at each other while they were like interviewing him and stuff like it. You knew something was eventually going to happen. It was kind of cool. McAfee like surprised us all and like was super good in the ring.
Well, the question is now that we had the match at War Games, we didn't see McAfee this week. Is he going to be like a Goldberg where he's going to come in?
They took him off TV for a while. Right? A memo, not a memo, but an article came out about a week or so ago after the event that he's been pulled from TV. No reason, no nothing. Could be storyline, but it could be like what you're talking about, a specialty kind of thing.
Maybe the Indianapolis Colts need a kicker.
You know what?
Just a thought.
But you know what, though? You got to give McAfee a lot of credit. This guy, I mean, he's a lifelong wrestling fan. This was just not a passing fancy. True. To have this opportunity and to be part of it, I know, he's living the dream for a lot of folks. Breakout star of the year, Shotzi Blackheart. Tag team of the year, Undisputed Era. Any others that you guys want to particularly talk about?
Shotzi definitely deserves it. I'm glad to see it. I got to see her as an independent wrestler out here in the Vegas area, and to see her grow and to get the push in the women's division. It's just a matter of time before she goes to the big show, I think.
Yeah, it was definitely cool to see her get it. But I was pretty excited to see Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly get match of the year. That was a hard-hitting, like, New Japan-style brawl they had. I'm excited for the rematch this week.
Yeah, buddy.
But unfortunately for the winner, TikTok.
So let me just run down the rest of the winners. Tag Team of the Year, Undisputed Era. Female Competitor of the Year, Io Shirai. Male Competitor of the Year, Adam Cole. Future Star, Austin Theory. Overall Competitor of the Year, Io Shirai. And you ask a great question here at the end of that list. How is Karrion Kross not nominated for any awards? With all due respect to Karrion, we know this show absolutely loves him. Did he provide enough face time on screen due to his injury to be considered in these awards? I don't think so. I mean, I know what you're talking about and why the question's there, but you got to be on camera. You got to be in the ring. Although his emergence and arrival caused a shakeup, and excitement in NXT, but he lost a lot of time due to the shoulder. Chief?
I think if you look at the 3 matches that he had, Gargano, Keith Lee, and I forget who the other jobber was. He won the belt. I've seen a lot of my friends here in the Facebook era out here in Las Vegas. We're all asking the same question: why wasn't he nominated? Period.
Well, perhaps at some point that'll come out, but there's no question if he stays healthy and continues on the track that we know he is on and continues to go upward. There's no question he'll be on a list of any awards, whether it's if he gets called up to the main roster during the next 12 months or not. Certainly his name will be all over the place. All right, we're up against our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk about 2 things going into 2021. The first one, who's going to be the breakout star in 2021 for either WWE or AEW, and who will win a world championship that hasn't done it yet? So we're going to tackle those 2 questions on the other side. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere live on Go Live Vegas. That's Matt, that's Chief, I'm Aaron. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your sales staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. As we come out of break, we actually have a caller on the line at this time. I have a funny feeling I know who it is because I'm not interested right now in buying a car, although dealing with this man, he can certainly do it and help you because I'm already stacked up with cars.
It's either a big wrestling fan or someone's going to tell us about our car warranty.
What?
Well, I got a bone to pick with him anyway.
And he's not from India either, so. Garth, Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy birthday, Aaron. Matt, how you doing, Chief? Good to see you, brother.
Hey, I'm mad at you.
Uh-oh.
You're mad at me?
Yeah, I'm mad at you. I should have won the award for the Got Garth, and I didn't.
I'm afraid to ask what that entails.
Primo earned it. Primo earned it, so he'll get the award this
Happy
year.
New Year, brother.
Happy New Year. We're going to see you tonight, hopefully.
Negative.
Well, you and the wife, I hope you guys have a safe and prosperous New Year. We're definitely going to see you in the future.
Absolutely.
But as far as everybody there in the studio, we want to wish you guys the best. Please, everybody stay safe, and let's make 2021 a lot better year than what we just went through.
Amen, my friend. While we have you, being the wrestling fan that you are, who do you predict to be a breakout star for WWE or AEW this year?
You know, AEW, I really, it sounds weird, but I'd love to see Luchasaurus get some
love?
Break out the single. I think, I've seen a lot of his independent stuff, and I think that he really could be somebody that could carry that. As far as WWE concerned, I'd have to go to NXT. I think Swerve's long overdue for a nice shine on the spotlight.
Right on. I think 2 very solid nominations from our man Garth. All right, listen, buddy. I know you're probably getting ready to go to work, right?
I've been at work since 8 a.m. I don't know what you guys are doing.
We're just fooling around.
You know what the caller ID says? You know where he is?
Well, I know he is, but it could be a company cell phone that he carries. So I'll tell you what, buddy, because you're a great follower of our show, why don't you tell everybody where you're at and where people can find you if they need your services?
That's right. You can find me anytime at Finley Mazda. You can look up at hashtag #GotGarth, or you can reach me direct, and that is area code 925-752-8182. I can handle any new car or pre-owned vehicle. It doesn't matter the brand, make, We have 35 stores across 6 states, so we're good to go. Anybody that needs anything, they come on down, and we will definitely take care of any member of the wrestling family here in the area.
Right on. Thank you, my brother. Now I'll send you a bill for that, and we're still going to have lunch, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Brother.
We're still
Anytime. You gentlemen have a great day.
All right. Thanks,
You too,
Garth.
man. Happy New Year.
There you
Happy
go.
New Year, Garth.
And by the way, congrats on your health transition. All right. He also has been getting himself healthy, and he's been tracking it, and he's doing a great job. So stay healthy. All right. Interesting picks from him. So, Matt, obviously you had some thoughts in mind when we put this on the run sheet. Talk about your thoughts on breakouts for 2021.
I think in AEW, I think Jungle Boy is going to end up like being one of the bigger, like one of the names to break out and like possibly get to like main event level. My honest, like before I even like did this and what happened, I thought Brody Lee was going to be like world champion and dominate everything. But in WWE, I want to see Ricochet finally get a shot. Like, he's gotten, like, been U.S. champion and whatnot before, but they've wasted all of 2020 with him. And that guy can talk, and he's incredible in the ring and can do shit that nobody else can do. So he needs to be, like, a main event level talent.
Chief?
Well, Darby's getting the push now, so that's one I thought of. But I agree with Matt. The other one that came to mind for AEW was Jungle Boy. I think Jack, it's his time. Although I like Garth's pick, too. Luchasaurus. I like that one.
Jungle Boy to honor his father, right?
Exactly. WWE, I'll go a different way. She has gotten the push. However, I want to see Shotzi Blackheart.
Yeah.
That's who I want to see. When she makes it to the main roster, she has the talent and the capability to become a huge star in the female side of the house.
I just want to see a female get pushed that's not one of the 4 horsewomen or Asuka.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. And can I go on my rant now for
All
a
right,
minute?
we'll let you. I know you. Hold it. His rant. It's like a bucking a bronco right now because he's had. Chief, the floor is yours.
Okay, the rant. Matt brought the great point up. Want to see a female storylines. I am getting tired of seeing WWE for the last 4 or 5 weeks with Roman Reigns and Uso and Kevin Owens. Now, as somebody said to me earlier during the week and earlier this morning, that's about the only storyline that WWE has right now on SmackDown. Well, you know what? They pay the big bucks to the creative writers. And if that's the best storylines they've got, well, let me ask you a question. Where is Zack Ryder? Where is some of the other people that we don't see? Bring them up to the roster, put them on the show, and write some damn more storylines, because the ones you got now are starting to get old and you're losing viewership. Thank you for letting me rant. Chief out.
That's what happens when you have Hollywood writers trying to write a wrestling show.
Ain't that the damn truth?
And you know what though? Fox, where of course SmackDown is aired, they're looking for some new stuff. Now we saw the return last night, and I know I'm jumping the shark on some of the other stuff we have. Sonya Deville made a TV appearance last night. I thought they were going to hold her out for Royal Rumble, but I think this return will spurn that. But they definitely need to do something. Big E winning the title.
Yeah.
The Intercontinental is good for SmackDown. I think what they did with this Kevin Owens thing and Roman Reigns, who else could have stepped up to Roman Reigns? I mean, he did what he had to do with Uso, right? Getting the family member to the table. But then, Kevin Owens just steps up because he thinks what he did to Uso was not right, so he's fighting for family in a different method. But there really wasn't much of a buildup except within the storyline. The story is being built up within that storyline as to what the issue is. I'm hoping this next match that they're going to do for Royal Rumble will end it, because you're right, it is enough between those guys.
And I agree with what you said to me earlier. you know, who's there that could really go up against Roman? Well,
Seth Rollins.
that could be. What about, could it be Big E that's going to step up next?
In my opinion, I think he has to reestablish himself as a singles champion right now. Even though everybody may forget he's a 2-time IC belt holder.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
people don't really remember. You know, I'm great. I'm very happy to have seen the celebration for winning and all of that. But they treated it like it was his first time ever singles championship. It's not. It was his second. I think he needs to hold the belt a little bit as a champion. He's got to win some matches and defend against some names, and then perhaps the storyline, maybe SummerSlam or something like that. A storyline can start with Reigns at that point. But something has to. They've got all the big men over on Raw right now, big physical men. Other than AJ Styles' bodyguard, who else size-wise is worthy of matching up to Roman? Do we see Brock Lesnar returning,
No.
given Paul Heyman connection?
It's funny that you say SummerSlam because I was just reading that Big E's the favorite to win the Royal Rumble.
Really?
To face Roman at WrestleMania.
Wow.
If the Rock thing doesn't work out.
Wow. Okay. Well, I have not seen that. That's an interesting take on it. Ryan in the chat room says AEW breakout star will be Darby Allin and WWE Big E and Bianca Belair.
I want to see
Also
what
good
that,
picks.
Sorry.
No, go
I
ahead.
was going to say, I want to see what that new TNT title is going to look like.
Yeah. Now, weren't they supposed to be producing, redoing that ever since Cody won the title back?
They did. They came out with like the finished version of it.
Okay.
Because it was like had a little more design to it.
Gotcha.
But as much as Cody likes that white Intercontinental title, I think it's going to have like some kind of resemblance to that. It was just cool. They gave the kid the title and
Lifetime champion.
yeah.
And a contract so that when he grows up to an age where he wants to start wrestling, he's already signed to AEW. Either way, even if he doesn't ever become a wrestler, great. Again, going back to it, kudos and a tip of the cap to AEW and what they did this past, and the boots in the middle of the ring with that his son brought out, the whole thing.
You know that family's going to be well taken care of.
No
Well,
question.
And that's what Cody said. You know, the family will be taken care of.
Even Jericho was like, "We promise we'll take care of your family."
Right on. As well it should be. Ryan says Big E should win the Rumble, then step up to Roman, which he sent that in just as you were talking about it. Quickly, Keith Lee or Karrion Kross hasn't won a title yet. Obviously, you know, Keith is... Listen, you send Keith Lee back to the Performance Center a couple of weeks ago for polishing. All of a sudden, then he wins, beats Sheamus, and now he's going to go for the title on, was it next Monday's Raw or something, I think? Or
He did good at the Performance Center, apparently.
Maybe they're finally listening to our podcast, and
That's right.
And they heard us say that why did Keith have to go down if some other people didn't, and now he is getting the push.
bask in the glory. Anyway, of course, Cross, when he comes up, I can't see them waiting too long to put a belt around his waist at some point. He would be a guy, listen, they don't like heel versus heel or face versus face in championship battles, but how about Cross and Reigns? At some point.
I can't take my money.
I think there's two.
Twice over.
I think two gentlemen coming up from NXT. One will be Karrion, the other one will be Damian Priest. They're both going to be coming up.
With USA complaining about ratings and saying they want a darker, more violent, like program,
Right.
who better?
Yeah.
Karrion's
Totally.
like that dude's like probably the best on the mic of anybody in WWE, AEW, Impact. It don't matter, and that dude can go. So
If it fits.
yeah.
702-329-6947. 702-329-6947. Press 1 to come right to the studio. You are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. 2021, first episode of the new year. Fresh off. Hopefully everybody had a great New Year, safe and holiday season, and we thank you all for tuning in. Ryan also says that Big E, as you mentioned, and Bianca are the listed favorites to win the Royal Rumbles. So...
Yeah, I can see that.
that would be interesting. Now, for me, NXT, I'm going to go to the women's side like we've been talking about. Rhea Ripley. I mean, she's been ripping it up, in my opinion, down there. I'd like to see her come up and get a true shot, unlike what they did with Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we keep going back to it. These stars coming up from NXT, they get totally wasted on the main roster shows.
Well,
I get scared of anybody coming up from NXT. I like.
well, you know the one that I'm wondering about, and we saw her last week or the week before, is Mercedes Martinez. I wonder what the game plan is for her.
I don't know, that last man standing match or last woman standing match between her and Rhea Ripley should be off the hook. I can't wait for that one.
And I think, again, that's one of the reasons why they need some good looks and they need to get an opportunity when they come up. Like you said, it's scary when these folks come up to the roster, to the quote-unquote main roster, and nothing happens for them.
Right.
It's such a terrible waste, and they've got to do better with that. All right, let's move on to the WWE report. All right, this Monday night on Raw, in an attempt to help Raw ratings, although this past Monday night, they got a lot of kudos for the show that they just did last week. It's Legends Night. Now, I saw a list a couple of weeks ago of the Legends expected to return. I'm not excited, because it's the same names that we see always coming back. Ric Flair, Teddy Long, they're talking to Molly Holly, all the same quote-unquote legends that they have. Now, tell me about your thoughts about Legends Night and what this may or may not do to Raw.
The only ones that I'm interested in to see if they're going to come back is Trish and Lita.
But they've already done that. And bringing them back would do what? Would they be paired in a tag team match against somebody, or?
Well, let's put it this way. It would definitely add to the ratings. Because,
in many ways.
Because, absolutely.
Something's got to go up, and it may not be the ratings if they show up.
Well, you look from the neck down and you'll understand.
Yes.
No, I didn't say that.
No,
No, seriously, though. I mean, Flair, Hogan, probably the Iron Sheik, Volkov. I wish Mick was there. He always...
Oh, yeah. He always adds to it.
Mick always adds to it. But, I mean, as far as, doing a Legends Night, they're just trying to draw ratings. And it goes to what I said on my rant. It's the creative writing. It stinks. Period. Over.
Hogan, it'll be good shit. Or bring this person back. And I think if it ever goes like bad, the nuclear button is The Rock or Undertaker.
Or Stone Cold.
Or Stone Cold. I think Stone Cold's going to be there Monday.
Okay, well, you know what?
I would hope. That's like the legend.
And I think because I would be surprised if he's not, because the new season of his show, the Stone Cold show, where he's with all these stars and they do things, premieres, I think, like in the next week or so.
Yeah.
So it would make total sense that Stone Cold would be there.
And you said it, I wonder if Taker's going to be there.
I don't. I think Mark Calloway will end up showing to a bunch of stuff, but I think The Undertaker's like done.
Yeah, the character itself.
Like Mark Calloway himself will like come out for stuff, but
I agree.
In case I don't know, something crazy happens or he really has to hit we might go at a business nuclear button and be like, Undertaker's back.
Yeah.
Against The Rock.
Throw in Sting and throw in Ric Flair to that match, too.
Never say never.
And here's the thing. It was said that on the last business report with investors that they have quarterly, Vince and company, they're still showing shitloads of profit. And it's not necessarily on the now, we have Raw from this past week playing on the screen in front of us. Aaron here at Go Live Vegas is kind enough to record it, so it's playing in the background for us. But they're doing so much stuff off screen with merchandising and all the other stuff and the network. I don't know what's. Oh, see, here's the premiere of the Austin show, not the premiere, but the advertisement.
Yep.
That how worried, quote unquote, is he really on the shows when he knows he's making money hand over fist on WWE.com/shop?
This is why I'm hoping AEW gets the shot they need to get their ratings to beat Raw or SmackDown's the only way Vince is going to get nervous enough to be we need to change something seriously. Right now he doesn't see them as a threat.
Right.
Besides signing talent to make sure they don't go over there. But as far as as long as Vince isn't losing money and they're not losing in the ratings besides to NXT, he doesn't really see them as a threat. If a major person moves or they start gaining momentum, it's the only way WWE is changing their product.
I wonder if we always talk about Vince, but I think Shane's a shrewd businessman. And I wonder if Shane is really starting to run things behind the scenes and it's being kept quiet. It's not getting out to the tabloids or anything like that. And he's come back into the fold, so to speak. And if he is, I think you may see creative writing get a lot better. But as far as Vince running things, it's status quo.
Well, there were, Ryback opened up a big can of worms a couple of weeks ago on one of his shows where he talked about Vince's health not being well. And so there's been a lot of stories on the web for the last couple of weeks about questioning that. We know that Triple H is running NXT pretty much with him and Shawn Michaels and company in terms of training. I guess my question is, why has he separated SmackDown? Because obviously Vince is more involved in Raw. I think we'd all agree to that than he is in SmackDown. So some formula is working well on SmackDown that continues to be, as I heard yesterday on and I'll give him credit because I listened to the show Busted Open on Sirius Radio, really being the A show, not Raw anymore. Yeah. And the only big difference is we hear, McMahon's involvement in Raw so much, but we really never hear it on SmackDown as often. I don't know. I mean,
as much as I listen to Busted Open, how they haven't offered like Bully Ray like the head writer position yet is beyond me. Because that dude, every time he like says something, I'm like, yeah, they should do that, or why didn't they do that?
Totally agree. He is so good with the pencil, so to speak. I love listening to him, Chief.
The two that come to mind for writing, Michael P.S. Hayes and CM Punk. And I think if they let them... Well, Michael's there. Michael's a booker. He does his thing, but he has a creative mind.
Well, right now, Pritchard is supposed to be head of all creative on both shows, supposedly, in title, or at least that's what's public.
You mean Dr. Tom Pritchard?
Yeah.
Bruce Pritchard.
Bruce Pritchard. I'm sorry, Bruce Pritchard. Sorry. Bruce.
Wasn't he with, didn't he do some stuff with Impact?
For a little while, yeah.
Yeah, well, and he left. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But he was with WWE from like the 80s to like...
Well, he was Brother Love.
2005.
You are correct.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Yeah, and his on-screen persona, Brother Love, put him in the forefront. I want to just mention a couple of comments that have popped into the chat room. Garth says it would be a great step forward for the sport to put the belt on Sonya Deville. I don't disagree with that. Rhea Ripley, Ryan says they owe Rhea Ripley after losing to Charlotte at Mania. Garth follows up with, this is an interesting question. In the future, could we see a women's version of the IC belt or something similar? Happy New Year, Brandy. Brandy joins us in the chat room. Garth then follows up. Thomas is correct when he says they need to can the Hollywood writing staff and give the pencil to more workers or talent. And Brandy does follow up. When Vince appeared at Survivor Series, he did not look well. And that, I totally agree. His face just looked all sunken, his cheekbone. Something was not right with him. And Brandy, I concur 1,000% with that comment. Something's not right healthy-wise, in my opinion, and apparently in Ryback's opinion.
He looked
He looked frail almost.
Yes,
didn't he?
He did. He looked bad. He didn't look like the normal Vince.
True. Looks like that guy never gets sleep. I said, from whatever was heard, he always either working out, doing something for the show. They said he never sleeps, and maybe it's finally catching up to him.
Could be. The man works like 9,000 hours a day. I mean, it's crazy. So, all right, a couple other highlights in the WWE report I want to touch on. Hulk Hogan said in an interview he believes Matt Riddle will be the next big thing. I don't see that yet, but he also did say in that, I believe in that same interview, the best of all time was Ric Flair.
Yeah.
So I think, that, but I'm not sure about this Matt Riddle thing being, he could be the next big thing. Guys, that one I want to get your opinion on.
He could be like a main event level talent at the same time, but I think a person to be labeled like the next big thing like Brock Lesnar was, like as soon as you saw Brock Lesnar, you're like, that dude's going to be like the champion quickly. Right. And he was. Matt Riddle, you're like, that guy's talented, but he also does a lot of drugs. Who knows?
And a whole lot of flippy shit. I had to get it in.
Oh, well, the most impressive thing he does when he walks in is the way he jumps up and flips the flip-flops off, right?
Yep.
Plus, on top of that, Riddle signs a new contract extension with WWE, and that in conjunction with something that you mentioned a few minutes ago, Matt, is the contracts and Vince was signing people just to prevent them from going to AEW. Reports have come out in the last couple of days that the new contract offers going to some of the talent now at WWE is even below what they were offered pre-coronavirus in order to protect people from going to the other companies, that they're loosening the rein and not as worried about their performers going to AEW or Impact or any of the others. So there's a lot of contract stuff here that's happening apparently, and I'm going to be interested in seeing the results of these contract issues. I don't remember a contract signing like this being announced to this degree and such hoopla made over Riddle re-signing than anybody else I can think of.
Not really, not in a while. But I think like AEW is literally like one or two like big signings away from just taking WWE over.
And who would they be? Throw a couple of names that you think if they signed would put them ahead of the WWE product.
CM Punk.
Okay, just for the off factor, you think? Like the shock and awe value?
The awe factor, even though he's been out of wrestling for 5 years, when there's crowds, there's CM Punk chants every show,
especially
multiple
in
times
Chicago.
a show. That guy's still one of the most over people in the whole industry.
Chief?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay, I'll get back to you then when the thought pops in. How's that? Okay.
It's okay.
Miz got the Money in the Bank briefcase match on a very big loophole that it was Morrison who cashed in the bank, not the actual bank, the contract holder. And so Adam Pearce gave the Miz back the case.
Yes.
Who's he going to go against?
Now, does he get a new 365 starting now from when he was awarded back the briefcase? Or does his count of the 1 year having to use it count from when he actually got it from Otis? I don't know that. Did the 365 start the night of the Money in the Bank match even though Otis won it? So what's the timetable now?
I think it's probably from the Money in the Bank pay-per-view just because that's when the thing was first awarded.
Right. That would be logical. But again, we're talking about the WWE.
I think it's when whatever Vince wants to do at this point in time. Okay.
I just want to see The Miz win the damn championship.
You know what? I don't disagree with you.
Do you think it'd be realistic, though, right now, going against Drew or Roman for either title? Or you just talking just going after Drew and going after the WWE title?
Well, you stop and think about it. If he was to go against Roman, he does have the deterrent outside the ring that could control Jimmy Uso, and that's Morrison. So...
Not if the other Uso comes back at the beginning. They're speculating he might be back even as early as Royal Rumble, because January was his targeted return.
Well, you could always see a female get involved.
Maurice?
Either Maurice or somebody else.
I don't know if a female getting involved with the Uso family Roman Reigns tribe and all that stuff would be an equalizer, in my opinion.
I think she's tough enough. Because I've seen a few matches down in Mexico that she wrestled.
I know. I was gonna say Miz Morrison and Taya versus Jay, Roman, and Tamina. That would be cool.
Interesting. Okay, I buy it.
Her contract's up.
The light bulb went off.
Yes, it did. The Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic returns in 2 weeks. Thoughts?
They always put on some crazy tag teams. They always have good matches. I'm looking forward to it.
Could this possibly be okay, let me throw something out. If Kyle beats Gargano,
Finn
Balor, excuse me. Thank you. If he beats Finn Balor, could it be Finn Balor and Dunn as a tag team?
That'd be a good tag team.
You ain't wrong.
Could you imagine if Cross and Priest go against each other and they put them two as a tag team? Who the hell's going to stop those two?
Here's Garth jumps in here saying the Miz storyline is complete BS, and he also believes that they're wasting John Morrison, and I totally agree with that. I mean, there was such hoopla about his return that then once they paired him up with the Miz, it became a comedy act again.
That dude is so talented. He's just like a waste being Miz's sidekick.
Absolutely. And I think at one point, do we see a turn of Morrison and The Miz?
Possibly if Taya comes to WWE.
I'm just trying to think when the contract's up. I think it's
January 1st her contract was up. Her and Ethan Page.
Yeah. Now there's to divert for a minute. There's another one. Could he be going to AEW?
True. I think if Kyle wins the title, I think Karrion is going to the Royal Rumble. I think if Balor retains, it'll be Balor versus Cross.
I think it would be an explosion if Cross shows up in the Royal Rumble.
From me, yes.
If that happens, I won't be here. I will message you early enough to let you know because I will be heading to
wherever. Gotcha. All right. Well, you'll be with us. You just do a remote show from there.
And I made the promise that when and I'll just put it out there. Kevin's a good guy. I've known Kevin for 6 years and 7 years now, and we are close friends. And I made the promise that when he made it to the big show, I'd be there, and I don't break a promise.
Well, listen, I've had the pleasure of interviewing him twice over my career on different shows I've been doing, and he deserves it. Last point before we go to our final break of the day, Jim Ross reported on his podcast that during the time Shawn Michaels took off from 1998 to 2002, he was paid $750,000 a year so he wouldn't go to WCW. That's not a bad insurance policy. All right, when we come back, we got some talk about the New Year's Evil card, some other things regarding AEW and Impact, birthdays, pop culture. We got a lot to do in the last 15 minutes. Thank you for watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
All right, welcome back. Thoughts Count Anywhere coming at you. The first show of 2021 almost in the books. Happy New Year to everybody watching. And we thank you for making us part of your Saturday, regardless of how or where you are listening to us. All right, next order of business on the 6th, NXT New Year's Evil card. Let's quickly go over the matches. You guys shout out who you think is going to win. The NXT Championship, Finn Balor, Kyle O'Reilly, which we kind of just touched on, possibly.
I want to see O'Reilly win it. He deserves it, but I want to see Ballard keep it so that Karrion can kick his ass.
I want to see Balor win solely for the fact I want to see the Demon versus Karrion Kross.
Oh, that would be interesting. NXT Cruiserweight Championship, Santos Escobar versus Gran Metalik.
Santos Escobar.
I agree.
Okay. Damian Priest versus Karrion.
Do you even need to ask?
No, I know, but it's on the sheet, so I don't want to waste the ink.
Damian Priest, yeah, right, Karrion Kross.
The Ballard O'Reilly Priest Cross matches, they're going to be off the hook.
Last woman standing, Rhea Ripley, Raquel Gonzalez.
Rhea Ripley.
I agree, and that's going to be another one that's going to be off the hook.
Rhea Ripley coming to the Royal Rumble for the women's side?
I think so.
Yeah, I agree with that. Fight pit match, Timothy Thatcher, Tommaso Ciampa.
You know, I've seen and I've said it before. I've seen Thatcher a couple times. Thatcher, he's a great wrestler, scientific. I want to see Thatcher win it.
I'm going Tommaso.
All right, there you go. That's our predictions for the upcoming card, New Year's Evil card on the 6th. That's this Wednesday night, I believe. Yes, it is Wednesday night on NXT. All right, AEW Impact. All right. Now that the first couple items on here we've already talked about. So what do you think is going to happen with the Dark Order now? Will they disband them? Will they keep them together with the new potential leader? Would Eric Rowan be the logical successor in that role, given the connection? Thoughts?
I think they're going to keep them together. And there's a free agent out there that I think could be a leader for the Dark Order. I don't know if I'm going to get shit for this or not. But she's a super good talker. She's got gothic a little bit. But if Zelina Vega came in and was like the leader of the Dark Order, I'd pay to watch that.
The other one I was thinking about is the female that they have there now in Dark Order. Could she possibly
Anna
be?
Jay?
Could she possibly? I don't know what her mic skills are.
Right.
But could she be the one to take over? Possibly, being that she's the only female in the Dark Order.
Could, or maybe Matt Hardy, since he was supposed to be the original leader of the Dark Order.
That would be a change.
They got a lot of possibilities.
They certainly do. And anybody outside of what they have there. I don't think right now, I'm not sure if female leader is the right play at this point, especially if we don't know her mic skills. They need somebody who's a talker, who could energize people and still do all of that stuff the way that Brody did and keep that dark, massive presence felt. So, I mean, you mentioned CM Punk.
What about
if CM Punk was to come and be the leader of the Dark Order?
What about
Raw's getting taken over immediately?
What about Vicky Guerrero?
Ooh,
she's not dark enough to hear "excuse me."
But they could change her character.
I would turn that shit off.
They could, but they could change.
Sorry, Vicky, but no.
I actually emailed her a couple of days ago to see if we can get her on today to talk about Brody, but unfortunately she was unable to. She didn't reply.
Right.
So, but it was late. So
thanks, Vicky.
Sefa Fatu teases signing with AEW, which got a response from Cody about making a trip to scout him. Now I've seen Sefa Fatu here at FSW. I know what he's capable of. He's part of the family, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, somehow in the Roman Reigns tribe family. So your thoughts on
brother.
That? What's that? Oh,
it's Uso's younger brother.
His younger brother. That's right.
They look so much alike. If one of the Usos was ever getting like trouble and one of them comes up missing, they can just put him in and no one would ever realize. But AEW should definitely sign him. He's only been wrestling a couple years, but
he's got the
talent's in the blood, obviously, and he picked it up super quickly.
Yeah, he's got the makings of it for sure. Speaking of Punk, CM Punk donating all sales from merchandise for a month to the family of Brody Lee, I think is a great gesture.
Definitely.
So anything CM Punk goes there. And Sami Callihan re-signed. Now, of course, when I read this, it's either re-signed or resigned. But I read it as re-signed with Impact Wrestling. So that's our news and notes on the AEW Impact. Let's go to some. You ready for some birthdays? Yeah. Who's celebrating birthdays as we turn the corner here? So celebrating birthdays. Now, our birthday list is going to be from Saturday to Friday. So when we come on the air on Saturday, it's for the upcoming week, right?
Okay.
That's what we're doing. So we're paying it forward. So these are upcoming birthdays as of tomorrow through next Friday that we've pulled out. Of course, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, Kimberly Page, and Rodney, they celebrated yesterday. Jim Ross, great Jim Ross, he's celebrating tomorrow. On the 4th, we have Jim Powers and Canyon. January 6th, Jacqueline, I'll say the name because it's out there. Ludwig Borga, if you don't remember who he is, look him up on Google just like we did. And you'll go, oh, yeah, that was him, right? January 7th, Chavo Guerrero Sr., Alicia Edwards, and Darby Allin. And on January 8th, which coincides with my 32nd wedding anniversary, Bushwhacker Luke, who's that? Bull
Nakano.
Oh, Bull Nakano. I'm sorry, that looked like an X. I wasn't sure.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Bad Luck Fail and Chris Masters, the Masters lock. Remember, that was all he had. It was the master, and then he had the challenge with everybody, right? He did that too. So happy birthday to all of you. And if you're celebrating a birthday out there and we don't have your name on the list, we want to extend a happy birthday for the upcoming week for 2021. I think it's great that we acknowledge some of these folks. And of course, our listeners, man, if you're celebrating a birthday in that time range, happy birthday to you as well from all of us here. Okay, good job. I like birthdays. It's kind of a lighter little thing and a nice segue into pop culture.
Yeah.
He picked up the cue very well. All right, so let's leave the first one for last because that one's always open-ended. But another passing. This was Gilligan's Island, my favorite. It was always the talk growing up. Is it Ginger or is it Marianne? Well, Dawn Wells, who played Marianne, passed away this past week, and I want to say she was in her early 80s, if I remember.
Yeah, I think she was 84.
Right? And she was a resident of Vegas, but she passed away, I think, in L.A. or some other location with family, or she was doing something. But Dawn Wells, there. How many people? I mean, this is a song that gets in your head. That once you get it in there, I loved the show. I thought it was goofy enough to be liked, but it had some great
Aaron,
actors
if
in
it
that
gets
show.
stuck in my head, I'm sending you the 10 most annoying TikToks I can find.
So Dawn, so I'd be curious to know, drop in, if you were a Gilligan's Island fan, who did you pick? Did you pick Mary Ann or did you like Ginger? Just curious, drop them in there, or if you want to call us, 702-329-6947. So thoughts and prayers go out to the Wells family. All right. You want to take one of the other? Or do you have a comment you want to make there?
The other
He's staring
thing,
me down, so I want to.
The other thing I heard this morning, Senator Neal.
Yes, Joseph Neal yesterday, actually.
From the great state of Nevada here,
Yes.
passed away. And, I'm a transplant here, but I understand he was a trailblazer in the Senate out here.
Yes. And there's a school up in the, I'll just call it the Northwest area, but let's just say it's like Ann and 95, to give you a general. Joseph Neal Elementary School. It's a STEM academy, which is a school that I'm affiliated with that I do my tutoring for. So I'm a part of the Neal family at that school. And yes, the principal sent out an email to us yesterday that he had passed. So thoughts and prayers to the Neal family as
And
well.
I do understand that his daughter has now taken over his seat in
Really?
the Senate up in
okay.
Carson City.
Right on. All right, did not know that. That's good news to know. Wonder Woman, 1984, the new movie was released on HBO Max. Some people like it. Other people are killing it. I have not seen it yet because I don't have HBO Max. At least not yet.
I'll hook you up with my login.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Have you seen it? Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, I watched it like Christmas Day when it
Okay.
came out. I don't think it was as good as the first one. A lot of parts lagged. Storyline was good, but it's like all the villains that like Wonder Woman has. I don't know if like the Wish thing was the way to go,
Okay.
but it was still a good movie for what it was.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
A lot of sequels rarely are as good or better than the original.
True.
Kristen
Wiig was good, but yeah.
Now there was, and I won't give it away, but there was an Easter egg, as I read, because I haven't seen the movie, during the final credit scene, that there was an Easter egg of a return of somebody that made a cameo appearance in that.
Yeah.
So I'll just leave it out there. If you haven't seen it, that was taken very well by the population who saw the movie. So that was a great little piece. And last but not least, what is New Year's without New Year's resolutions? So Matt, any resolutions for 2021?
To grow this podcast and stay healthy, help people.
Right on. All the good stuff. All right. Chief.
Your New Year's resolution to be subscribed, share, and like our podcast.
There you go. Especially on YouTube as well. Don't forget that, which you can access through thoughtscountanywhere.com. Chief, any resolutions?
I don't do New Year's resolutions. I try to, throughout the year, help people, for all of us to be healthy, wealthy, and wise, and for Carrying Cross to make it to the big show.
Absolutely. There you go. Aaron, pull up your mic. Any resolutions that you've made for 2021?
To lose weight.
The proper saying is shed weight, because when you lose something, you're bound to find it again. So once you lose weight, you don't want to find it again. So you shed weight. So that I totally agree. There's one resolution that I always make every year that I try to stick by, and that is I don't make any resolutions. Because usually within a couple of days or a couple of weeks, the resolutions are shot to hell. But if it's things you do normally in your life, like what you talked about and what you were talking about, taking care of people and being a good person that you can be for the upcoming year, if you do that anyway, you don't need a resolution to do it. Maybe do more if you want or whatever, but just be yourself, be the best person that you can be in 2021, and live life to the fullest as best as you can with the new year starting. Fair enough?
And see this shade be the breakout star of 2021.
Shade, if you're watching, and usually you are, remember, you are my breakout star pick for 2021.
No pressure.
No pressure.
It's 2021.
Do not disappoint me. We got a UK follower. Just popped up in my chat room. A special hello to Anastasia Tempest, who is watching from the UK. Anastasia, thank you so much. God bless you for watching us. We have now confirmed we are truly international.
Happy New Year's to you, my dear.
Absolutely. Please follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube channel. We're also on Go Live. We're on Twitter and 9,000 other platforms.
Everywhere.
Right. And
We're everywhere.
More importantly, though, check us out on thoughtscountanywhere.com to find out where we are and to get your 2021 new merchandise and help us promote and push Thoughts Count Anywhere. Guys, great way to start 2021. Final thoughts as we go out.
It's Saturday. You know what that means. Rest in peace, Brody.
Be safe. Enjoy each other. Rest in peace, Brody.
And as my brethren have said, Brody Lee, rest in peace. Thank you for what you've given us for the 20 years that you've been in the ring. To his family, Godspeed, and we hope that our little way of supporting and sharing our thoughts about him and, quite frankly, supporting you. We've purchased T-shirts, hoping that they'll all come in at a time. We can all wear them at the same time and display them. Yep. But nonetheless, listen, I always say this at the end of every show, and for 2021, I really continue to live by this. Just be kind to everybody. And why is that? Hey, we're all we have. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you kicking off 2021 with us this morning. We'll see you next week right here on Thoughts Count Anywhere. Thank you, everybody.